Hello, hello. Hello. Think we should be live right now. Hello. Yep. Okay. Um, so we're live and welcome everyone to the stream. This is the first time I'm doing this, so I have like a little bit of plan on what I want to do. So if you're here early, you can read the plan for now. And I think we'll wait for a few more people to join. Check how many people? Hi, hello. Let's give it a few more minutes. And if you're here early, I do have some plan on what we want to do tonight. We'll be using Claude Code, and hopefully we won't be writing any code ourselves. And we'll be working on some of my products. One of them is 60x Eval, which is like a Electron app. And the other one is my new SaaS 60x Writer. Yeah, so we'll be adding some new features to both of these apps, and then if you have time, we'll work on like a new SaaS from scratch to show you my workflow on how we do that. Hopefully we can use Claude Code all the way if we don't run out of credits. And if we do run out of credits, we can switch to Cursor or just upgrade our plan. Hello, hi. Yeah, okay. Let me see how many people are there. Okay, there's like 10 people. Okay, I think that's a good number. So let's start. Welcome to my first stream, 60x Engineer AI coding stream with Claude Code. So for today, I prepared 3 things to do. 2 of them are adding new features to existing apps. For the first one, we're gonna add a group for support from XAI to 60x Eval. So group 4 just got released, and I think a lot of people want to try out. So let's add this support to my app so that more people can try out. No home tour. Maybe next time. And then the second one, I will be adding some features to 60x Writer, which is like a SaaS app based on Next.js. And then if we have time, we'll move on to the third item, which is to vibe code a new SaaS app from scratch. I was thinking of making a happy tracker with some kind of AI input feature because I really need a happy tracker right now to keep some good habits. So that's the plan. Let's see how many we can do. Hopefully we can get to all 3, but at least I think we should be able to complete the first 2. So let's get started with the first task. So for this one, I think I need to give some brief introduction on what 60x Eval is. It's basically like a Electron app that allows you to evaluate prompts and models. So it's like your personal eval set kind of thing for like testing different models and testing out your prompts. So for example, if you want to see like which model gives the best result for this question of which number is bigger, like 9.9, 9.11, you can come into this app, enter your prompt, and select your models like this, something like this, and then create evaluations. And then this will run the same prompt across all models. DeepSeek is a little bit slow. Okay, so then you can see the results of like each model and then give it a rating. For example, GPT 4.1 kind of give the correct result. So let's save that, and then we can see like which ones give the right answer and which one give the wrong answer. So all these are correct. We can then mark them as correct. And then we can also compare like different output of different models. For example, GPT 4.1 versus Claude Sonnet 4. Compare their response. So this is basically what this app does. For now, you can see we don't support, we support Anthropic, OpenAI, DeepSeek, Google, and OpenRouter, but we don't support XAI. So today, the first task for me would be to add the support for XAI and Grok to it, so that people who want to test out the new Grok models can use my app to test them out. Obviously, because we support OpenRouter, so we can just add the XAI models here. Technically, we can do that, but that's going through OpenRouter. So let's add the native support for XAI. So this is like not scripted. Everything is live. So to understand how to add this thing, we need to understand that my app actually uses a library that I wrote myself. Let me see if you can find it here. This is Cursor, by the way. Yeah, so basically I'm trying to import all the AI providers and the models from this library called LLM info, which is kind of the model library I wrote myself that contains the information of all the models. So you can see here, I think it's, sorry, I think this one. Yeah, so it contains all the models from all different providers. So technically, if we are lucky, then we just need to update this library to make it work. But I'm not sure if that will work, so let's see. So the first step would be to open up this library, info. I have a like a shortcut. I have a shortcut for cursor, which is code. So you can see okay, it doesn't show up here, but this does open up cursor. And then so here I can technically make my changes and add the XAI as providers. Because this is just like a data entry job, I'm not gonna like ask Claude Code to do it. I mean, I could just for the fun of it, I guess. So let's see. Let's first look at how we can do the XAI integration. I believe I've already taken a look at their docs here. So let's see. I think we need to get an API key first. Let's create an API key. Just testing key. I will be invalidating all the keys later, so don't need to worry about them leaking. Or maybe I just will not show you guys the keys. I have a shortcut to hide myself. Okay, so I already got my API key without exposing it. That's good. And then let's check out how to integrate this XAI thing. I think it has like OpenAI compatibility library, so that's good. So we have this base URL and API key. Let's copy this. And then I'm just gonna drop it into like a reference folder. Let's call it XAI docs.markdown. Then we can paste this example here, which is in JavaScript. Okay, so with this document and this provider and model info thing, I think Claude Code should be able to do this, like add the supporter support for XAI, and then also add the Grok 4 model into the models, hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, so this one does have Grok 4, and then does have the API base URL. So let's see if we can one-shot this. All right, so for those people who just joined, I'm trying to add the XAI Grok 4 support to my app. You can see now I have Anthropic, OpenAI, DeepSeek, and Google and stuff. I want to add Anthropic to my app. Oh, sorry, I want to add XAI and group model support. So I'm gonna prompt Claude Code to do it. I've already prepared a document that specifies how to integrate. And then I have the provider and model here. These are the files I expect Claude Code to change. Let's try this. Integrate XAI and Grok 2 into the library. Okay, so you can see it's not 100% correct audio input. So let's change this to Grok 4 into the library. And then we can say refer to XAI docs. Okay, I think it does just ignore the, it actually ignores the reference, which is a bit unfortunate. But I think we can force it to use the reference. Anyway, it has the context at the bottom, so it should work. Let's see if this works. Okay, so it's reading the document and it's exploring the code base. Oh, I haven't actually initialized it. I realized I made a major mistake. I haven't initialized the this repo yet. This is the first time I'm running Claude Code inside this repo. So I should actually initialize this to generate the Claude Code cloud.md first. So let's do that first so that we can set up the proper context. While Claude is doing that, you can see this library is basically like a collection of models and all the information about each model that I'm using to power all my apps. So this is like basically like a JSON file, but with some kind of TypeScript support. And then I also have a bunch of tests to make sure that all these functions work. So Claude is creating a cloud.md file. And then this reference folder is where I save all my all my documents I want the AI to refer to. It's not committed to the repo. So we already got our cloud.md file. So let's see architecture, define pattern, first party. Okay. Okay, good. I think this works. So now this kind of use up some context. Let's clear this to free up some context. And then let's do this again. Add support for XAI and Grok 4 model into this library. I think I also want XAI to be the first party support. So let's say that it should be like a first party provider and with a base URL and use the OpenAI compatible API. Okay, so it would be a first party provider with a base URL and use the, okay, refer to document. Okay. Yeah, so that's basically how I would do for like a simple task. Also, you can see Claude Code has generated a to-do list. Read the XAI documentation, add provider. So it understands that you need to first add the provider, which is good. And then add the enum, add the model configuration. I think I forgot to give it the model configuration. Let's see how it does. Because there's no information on the Grok 4 model actually. I'm not sure if Claude Code will understand all the details about like limits and pricing and all that. Maybe it will just make it up, I guess. So in the provider here, we already see the XAI being added. First party true, third party false, native SDK false, which is correct. Let's see how it handles the model configuration. Oh, we have the model being added here. Model configuration here. Oh, it's actually interesting. It does a web search of group 4 model pricing, context limit, and specification. Interesting. Okay. I'm not sure if that actually give you the result, but yeah, I can't see the detailed result. Interesting. Let's see if it actually gets the correct result. Okay, it failed to get the result. It thinks it has enough information, but let's see. If it gets it wrong, then we'll just go back to the doc and just enter it ourselves. I think we have all the information here anyway. So the context window is 256, and the input output price are here. Let's see if it got correct. Oh, it actually got it. Okay, so the context window is kind of wrong, but the pricing is surprisingly correct. So 3 and 15, it got it correct here. So 3 and 15 here, which is interesting. And it's actually trying to create a test file, and oh, it's actually getting way ahead of myself. It's actually past that, and it's trying to create a test file and run it. I think XAI API key is trying to get an XAI API key. I think it's defined. XAI API key. Yeah, it's defined. Due to credential not being configured. Okay, so let's kind of fix this. The context window is actually not correct. It should be 256. And then the output token limit. Let's see if we can find it. Where is the output token limit? There's no output token limit. Oh, okay. So this information is not there. Let's just assume this is correct. No info. XAI's flagship reasoning with visual capability. Let's see if it does have visual capability. I don't think so. I think I remember it doesn't have visual capability. Let's just remove this. For image, false. False. Don't recommend this. I think it's the reasoning model, so let's keep this. And let's see what's happening with this test. Test. Say, oh, it's skipped. Oh, I see. Because this shell environment was initialized before I created the environmental variable, so this doesn't work. Try this again. Okay, your newly created team does not have credits. Okay, so let's add credit. Okay, I need to buy some credits. Maybe just $10. Okay, let me hide my credit card details and come back where I'm done. Okay, so we have purchased some credits, but we have reached what? Let me refresh. Huh. I just bought credits. I just bought it. Yeah, I guess it's kind of not updating. Oh, okay, now it says remaining credits. And okay, let's run the test again. It should work. Yeah, it should work now. I think it's just the cache. Yeah, maybe just give it a while. I think it should work. So let's just commit this and then publish the new library. So we'll add the XAI and then push, and then do a npm publish to publish the version of the page. And then we'll go back to our app, and then we can update this package to make use of this new stuff. Let's see if it shows up. I don't think it will show up. I'll explain why it doesn't show up later, but I don't think it will show up. Yeah, it doesn't show up here. I think that's because I actually hard-coded the models, the AI providers. Okay, maybe I'll actually use Claude Code to find out why it doesn't show up. Yeah, I think that's a good use case. But let me just make sure that I already have the correct file here. Oh, it doesn't have the correct file. Oh, I haven't run the install yet. Probably the reason why. How is happening? Oh, this is using npm. Okay, so now we have group file. Yeah, let's try to run this. Okay. Fail to scan dependence. Okay, there's some weird things happening. Okay, I think it's because I run the pnpm install. Let's remove this and try to install again. Problem with the node system. Okay, let's see. Okay, it still doesn't show up. It doesn't show up here. So let's try to ask Claude Code on why it happens. I've added a new provider XAI into LLM info, but it's not showing up in the new eval model. Figure out why. Info library, but it's not showing up in the eval model. Figure out why. Okay, I think this should work. Let me figure out why it's not showing up. Okay. So this is like kind of helping me to debug. I mean, I could just take a look at the code, but let's just see if Claude Code can work based on lo-fi music. I don't know. I don't want to get copy strikes. So XAI is here. Check the model store for XAI providers. Maybe it's missing the support here. On the issue, XAI provider is available, but it's not included in available providers. Yeah, that's the reason. I've defined the provider. What's the speech tool? Whisper Flow. Whisper Flow. So I think the correct way of dealing with the new vocabulary is to just add it here, like Grok and Grok 4. And then next time I say it, it should work. Let's try. Grok 4, XAI. Yeah, it works. So yeah, just need to add the vocabulary, then it works for voice input. Okay, so Claude Code has added this thing and then added the support for use provider selection composable. I don't even know what it is, but okay, it seems to actually require it here. And no logo available, which is correct. The issue, yeah, so it made several issues. So let's see if it actually fixed the problem. Message retracted. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Okay, nice. Now we have the XAI and we have the group 4, right? Which is cool. Which is very cool. So the logo is not working, but let's try this out first. Let's try group 4 and XAI and create a new eval. Oh, group 4 is not a valid. Oh, I see. I see. I think we have to update another library to support it, unfortunately. Because like yeah, it's actually the reason why I got this error is because the actual model that is used to send the prompt is also written by myself, and this send prompt library currently doesn't support XAI yet, so I also need to update this library to make it support XAI. But that should be quite easy. So let's just do that. So go to send prompt, and open it inside cursor, and then we'll add the same reference that we added to this LM info. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, I think we already fixed. We add this to like some kind of reference doc thing. Okay, let's add it here. Okay. And then we should be able to just prompt. So this library also like doesn't have Claude Code init yet because this is quite old. I didn't have to update this often. So let's also init this with a Claude Code. I mean, Claude Code is a relatively new thing, so I only use it for like my new projects. This one is quite old, so it doesn't have it yet. Let's see. So while we are doing this, let's see if this XAI test actually passes right now. Test. It should pass, right? Oh, it doesn't. Okay. Why does it receive? Okay. I think we have to kind of remove this because this max completion thing can sometimes hinder the test. It's a new model, so it has some kind of bug, I guess. Doesn't respect this. Okay, nice. We got the response. Hello, I'm Grok, an AI created by XAI. I'm designed to be helpful, truthful, witty, Hitler guide, Galaxy Majoris. Okay, sure. Whatever. Yeah, so this does work. Fix AI test. Push. And then now we have the Claude.md inside our send prompt. Looks correct. Okay, so let's clear the context so that we don't waste our tokens. For good measure, let's actually restart this. CC is actually an alias that I created to skip the Claude Code permissions. Because if you start Claude Code by default, you need to like enable the auto accept every time. But if you run Claude Code dangerously skip permissions, then you don't have to run that every time. I think this is quite a useful thing to do, which I will try to paste it into the chat just in case you guys want it as well. So let's run this, and then we can point the I'm not sure if it can actually read this, but let's try. I'm not sure if Coco can read this file because it's in git ignore. Let's see if it works. Add support for XAI. Refer to the docs. Use the OpenAI compatibility thing and the base URL. Let me think. Yeah, it should work, but this also depends on IOM info, so I have to update this here. Well, so that we can use the latest package. Let's see if we have the actual correct thing. Yeah, it's the correct one. So let's try to open API compatibility base URL from LM info package. I think it should work. I actually forgot how this library works already, so it's actually just like vibe coding right now because I actually can't remember how this library works. It's like 1400 lines of code. I need to go back to this doc. Okay, maybe I just be okay, maybe not. Let's try if it can work. Can it find the documentation? Oh yes, it can. So it does find the documentation, read it, and then it's looking at my library and it's reading the library information. Slow it down first. Yeah, this is my real flow, but this is like kind of a slightly older project that I haven't touched in a while. So it's kind of a little bit slow, and I'm trying to explain a lot of things. I mean, like, I don't have to write any code, right? So I guess that's a good thing. Yeah, this is like a very, I would say it's a very simple task. So this, I think the difficulty of this task is actually the API compatibility layer, because there's a lot of weird things that you need to handle for each provider. You can see there's a lot of evals and conditions, but we're just gonna assume that XAI is the standard provider, similar to DeepSeek and Fireworks, and hopefully it works. So let's see, it's trying to create a test. Looks correct. Looks correct. System prompt, message. Run the test. Yeah, sorry, I think I've spent a lot of time explaining, but I think it's worth it because some of it is not very obvious. And this is like a quite an old project, I would say. I haven't even initialized the cloud.md file. I just want to show you how it works on an existing project. Even if I never used Claude Code on this project before, it can still work. Let's see, it's trying to understand the token calculation issue. Yeah, the token calculation is a bit tricky for this kind of thinking models, because some providers include the thinking token in the output token and some providers don't. So, you know, as a AI app builder, you have to kind of like normalize and understand how they calculate and make sure that your calculation logic is correct. Because if you don't do it correctly, then you'll calculate the wrong thinking tokens. Let me see if I can find, yeah, so this is the reasoning tokens. So you can see for like Anthropic and for Google and for different providers, you kind of have to use different ways to calculate this number of tokens, because every provider gave you different output. For example, this is Anthropic. Kind of have to do some funny calculations here to get the total tokens. Let's see. So the test is passing now. Okay, good. For the streaming test, 14 prompts. The total is, this makes sense, include reasoning, which explains why. Okay. Okay, now it's like the Claude Code has some bug with scrolling. Okay, so it actually created two tests, one for normal test and one for streaming. I guess it's fine. It's still trying to do more testing. That's a lot of testing. Let me see if I still have my credits. Okay, still 9.9. Is there a log or something? Yeah, there is a log here. There's a usage, but there's no log. So you can see it's actually connecting to the actual XAI. Like, So okay, so it's done. It even provided an example of how to use it. Let's check the code. So we can go to this code control panel and check the changes made. Adding a provider, and then here adding port. You can see we support OpenAI, Anthropic, Google Vertex, OpenRouter, DeepSeek, Fireworks, XAI. Here, okay, it's just normal stuff. Okay, it's actually quite a simple change, not as complicated. I guess the tricky part is writing this test to make sure they work, because you have to kind of ensure that for the reasoning tokens, you're calculating the reasoning token correctly. So I don't think it's calculating it correctly right now, but I guess it's kind of okay. Oh, it even adds a test for to call. I didn't even ask for it. Okay, let's commit these changes. Because this is adding a new provider, I'm going to bump the minor version here. Add XAI support. Push. And npm publish. It's way cheaper. Yeah, I think it is, right? I mean, I think it should be cheaper. So this is 2.5.0, and let's go back to our first project. So the reason why I'm breaking it down to all the modules is because I'm actually using these libraries that I wrote for like different apps. So this same prompt, I can use this library for all my AI related apps instead of just writing the logic to send my prompt to different providers, uh, like writing it over and over again. I can just import the library. So this 2.5.0, let's do an npm install and then run the dev again. Now we should be able to actually run the XAI thing. Let's see. Run. Oh, okay. It still doesn't work. Okay, I think we have to update somewhere here to make it work. Let's see. So XAI provider doesn't really work with send prompt. Can you look at the integration and fix it? Yeah, I think it should work. Let me just double check I have updated the library correctly. But sometimes it's some silly mistake. So this is M. So I have XAI here. I have XAI. It should work. I guess it's just some configuration issue. Yeah, most likely some configuration issue. Examine SAMPROM, SAMPROM library. Yeah, I think it's not handling this provider thing correctly. Defaulting to something. There's no configuration constant, no interface, no XAI. Oh yeah, I just realized it's actually more complicated than I initially thought. Because I have to be able to configure the API keys here. Huh. Why is there no API? Should be API keys. This is weird. Oh, okay. Because of the refresh. Yeah, so because this is a new provider, I have to actually add a API key field here. Not as straightforward as I thought it to be. Let's see. Provider option. Okay, but how does it get the API key? Don't have API key. Eval data.api. Ah, okay. So we actually have to provide the API key. Okay, now it's like this change actually goes across UI and backend logic. Oh, we're missing this here. Okay. So we have to actually add a way for the user to enter the API key. Let's see. I think now if we send a prompt, we should get an API key error instead of the previous error we got. Still the same error. Okay, maybe let's fix the API key error first. Add the input field in settings to allow user to input XAI API key and then pass it to the send prompt logic. Okay, typo. Send prompt. Yeah, so this would change the store and add the and update the settings UI. Okay. Perfect. It's already an API. Okay, let's see what it's trying to do. Add an API key. Update XAI API. Update setting UI. So this actually takes longer than I expected. I thought this would be done in like 30 minutes, but now it's like 50 minutes. Underestimated this task by quite a bit. Add this template. Okay, now we have to integrate XAI API to send prompt. So it didn't actually pass through the validate API key. As you can see, it's actually not trivial to integrate into multiple providers. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, surprisingly, even if you're just building a AI wrapper. You see, I support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different providers. I think XAI is kind of actually the easier one to support. Azure is really difficult to support, and Google Vertex is also quite hard to support because they are very strange. The others are quite similar in terms of API design, so they're quite easy to set up. Let's see, validate key not used. So it's trying to clean up my code. Good. Oh, it's already loaded, so it should work. Okay, let's see. Okay. It says it works, but I'm not too sure. Let me just hide my API key first. Okay, now I have my XAI API key. Let's see if it works. Okay, it didn't throw an error immediately, so that's a good sign. Okay, we got some response. Interesting. Let's actually check that we're actually using the correct group. So let's just ask, who are you? Just make sure that we're not connected to some random providers. See, who are you? I'm Grok. Okay, so it works. So took us 15 minutes to finish this simple task. I'll add some icon to group provider. That's very easy to do. I think for this purpose of the live stream, we have completed this task successfully. So now we can inside 16x Eval, we have support for group 4 models from XAI, and then we can kind of test it against other different models. So that's the first thing we have done. When it's done, let's update our to-do. Done. Okay, let's move on to our second thing we want to do today, which is to add some features to our app, 16x Writer. So this is kind of like a SaaS app that I built to write blog posts. So you can see we can manage our sources. Like this can be like sources on Reddit or X, like anything you find on the internet. And then we have references, which is like your past blog posts that you've written. And then we can use kind of AI to write a new blog post based on this existing sources that you found on the internet and your previous writings, which the AI will try to copy out. And then you can generate a new blog post, right? So this is basically what it does, like a platform to help you write blog posts. Curious, how long would you think would have taken you? I think about the same. I think about the same speed. I guess the benefit is I don't have to write it myself. But yeah, probably the same. Yeah, but do know I'm trying to, explain what I'm doing while also coding. I guess the main benefit is that while Claude Code is working, you don't have to sit in front of the computer, right? Because I'm in the live stream, so I have to explain to you what's happening. But if it's real life, you can go and watch a YouTube video or do something else. You notice how few interactions I have done with like code? I guess that's the main benefit, as I said. So it's not about like a war time or anything. It's more like you just give it a task and then you do something else and come back to check. Yeah, but you're right. It would have taken me about the same time. But I will be coding like and debugging for 1 hour instead of doing something else and waiting for it to happen. Yeah. So let's see if we can get better luck on the next task, right? Okay, so let's try something like okay, so I have two things I want to do. I want to be able to regenerate a blog post using the same parameters. Let's try to do that. Let me try to run first. Okay. So we have this blog post and it's already being generated, but I think I want to add a feature that allows the user to kind of regenerate this blog post using the exact same settings. So that's what I want to kind of do. So let's try to add that feature to this page. It's not exactly the simplest task, but it's quite also not that hard to do. I guess the main thing is the user experience. How do you decide which model to use when you regenerate, right? So I guess the user has to pick the model to generate. So the user needs to pick the model for regeneration. And then the buttons and interactions has to be consistent with existing UI, right? I guess that's the main thing. I guess for the picking of models, we can do like a model kind of thing. Yeah, so I think these are the two criteria I have. Let's go and do this. So for this project, I've actually set up the Claude Code already, and I already have like some kind of scaffolding on how we manage these tasks. So I'm gonna add this to like a ad hoc task. So this is like where I put all my small enhancements to the projects. So let's say add a feature on the post detail page to, sorry, I should be using this, allow the user to regenerate the post using the same sources, prompts, and references. Then the user should be able to choose the model for regeneration in a model. The UI and all the buttons should be consistent with the existing UI. Okay, so I already added this task to this ad hoc tasks document. So my workflow would be to open the Claude Code, the next task, next enhancement thing, which will read this, and then work on the next enhancement, which exactly this. Let's see if it works. Well, yeah, you can see it's failed to find the thing. That's because the routing routing convention for Next.js is hideous. It looks very ugly of the nesting thing. Nesting is very ugly. I don't really like it, but that's what we have for Next.js. So you can see it's analyzing the blog post and design a UI, implement, regenerate post. So yeah, so basically if you use Claude Code, once you enter it, you don't have to look at the screen to like unless you want to poke behind what Claude Code is doing, you don't actually have to look at it. And go read a book and maybe chat with your friends and stuff. And then just come back, right? So yeah. So to answer the person's question, in terms of war time, I don't think it actually increases that much. But it's like it's giving more free time to you. And if you're actually more like intensive, you could run the prompts for different projects in parallel. That's another thing you can do. But of course, this is like a live stream, so I'm not gonna do that. That would be too much context switching for people who are watching. So I'm just gonna do like them one by one. So it's just designing the UI and implementing this functionality. Let's see if it actually works. Okay, now you can see there's already a button here, which looks similar to other buttons. Original, okay, interesting. Yeah, that's a good observation to make. Okay, this is interesting. So maybe it has already identified like this task is not actually possible because we didn't store the original system prompt. Let's see what it does. So this app, although it looks simple, but because we have the versioning of the post, like each update to the post will give it a version. So it's kind of a little bit more complex than your typical AI wrapper application. In that you can do things like if against different versions and stuff like that. So it's a little bit more advanced. Okay, so it's actually figuring out that I don't know if it's hallucinating or gaslighting me, but it's telling me that we don't have the original system prompt. But that's actually not true, right? We have the original system prompt. I think we have it. Let me just double check. We have the post version, then we have the posts, and then we can find the first post version of that post. Okay, it's a little bit tricky to get it. I guess the AI is taking a little bit of shortcut. But I guess it's fine. It's just like one additional step to select the system prompt. Not a big deal. As long as we can reuse the sources and references, I'm quite happy with that. Very consistent button. Okay, already using. Okay, so it's just gonna check this off. I noticed Claude Code actually likes to check whether things are working afterwards, which is a good thing, but sometimes it causes this terminal to completely mess up, which is interesting. So this took about 300 plus seconds, which is how much? About 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, it says it's done, but let's see if it's actually done. Let's click on regenerate. Okay, so it's using the original settings, and then we can select a system prompt and then select the model. Oh, this looks hideous. Okay. The model width is too narrow. Make it larger so that we can fit all the models. I'm not paying for Claude Max, I'm just paying for Claude Pro. This is a $20 subscription. Yeah, it's a very good question. Yeah, I should make it clear. I'm not paying for the $100 one, it's just $20 one. And I haven't hit the limit. Yes, that's a good. Okay, so now it's like slightly larger, so let's try. Let's try GPT 4.1, I guess. It actually work? Oh yeah, it works. Okay, it's generating. I think GPT 4.1 should be quite fast. Work degree usually check the, okay. That's a very good question. So I typically check, so as I written in the my newsletter, I do check the output, like using this tab here. So let's say this is the thing to add XAI, right? I will go to each file and then see the changes. I can click on it, double click to open these files, and then I can actually this is the diff view, and then I can also open the file itself. So I'll check like the important files. I guess if it is like some very routine and very tedious thing, I won't check one by one. But if it's like an important thing like calculations, I'll probably check. I'm a very terminal person. You can see everything, all the key commands I use are all in terminal. So I only use this to check the diff. Otherwise, I use the terminal to do all my commits. Very good question. So yeah, you should check the output. Don't trust it blindly. I guess it's the learning here. So I think it finished generating. Let's. Oh, I think it actually failed. So let's check the generation log. Somehow it failed. The server had an error processing. Why is that? Maybe it's just some OpenAI random error. Let's try again. Regenerate. Let's select 3 models. Oh, this thing doesn't work. See, the select button only works on the thing. So this is the bug that I need to fix. The checkbox for the model selection only works when I click on the checkbox, but not the label. Fix this. Checkbox for the model selection only works when I click on the checkbox, but not. See if it works. And surprisingly, this bug only happens on this page, not the post creation page. So if I go to the new post page, I think this works. Oh, it also doesn't work. Huh. Maybe it broke it. I remember it used to work. Try again. It still doesn't work. Huh. Let's see if it's trying to gaslight me or it's actually some bug. Okay, it's trying to move the on-click listener to the parent. I guess that should work. I remember it used to work. I don't know why it's not working. Many clients. That's just my Postgres thing. It still doesn't work. Why is that the case? I remember it used to. I guess this is where handle toggle add some debugging statements. Oh, now it works. Wait, what? Why it works now? Okay. Works now. Remove debugging code. Okay, interesting. I have no idea why it works, why it doesn't. This is the epitome of vibe coding, I guess. Must be some kind of JavaScript stuff, like some kind of bubbling and what's the opposite of bubbling thing? Oh, now it doesn't work again. Wow. Ah, interesting. No, it doesn't work. Don't remove any code logic. Yeah, I guess this is the ePrevent default. Let's see. Okay, now it works. Great. So let's try again. Regenerate, select 3 models. Sometimes these generations can error because it's taking too long. Okay, now it works. Actually, I'm not sure. Okay, so this one got back. I think it worked. Okay, so now I got 3 new generations. Good. check the for that OpenAI console platform. See if they actually send the correct prompt to the OpenAI server, just to make sure we're not like doing something. We have the logs here. Where's the logs? Logs. Okay, so it's 11:13, which is 2 minutes ago. Developer, your assistant, blah blah blah. User prompt. Okay, looks correct. Okay, so it indeed works. So this feature took us 5 minutes initially, and then we fixed some UI issues, and we discovered a previous bug, which was fixed. So now it's like 10 to 20 minutes total. I can use Claude Code to commit all the changes, but for simplicity's sake, I will just commit myself. Regenerate. Okay, so this feature is done. So the stream has been going on for 1 hour. I think I probably have time to do one more feature, and then we'll leave the new SaaS app from scratch for another stream. I guess that's the plan. Okay, so let's do this new feature. So we are done with this one, and then we're gonna import multiple URL sources. Okay, so this one is pretty cool, right? So what happens is that, let's say if you see a interesting Reddit link, right? This one is very ironic. So we have this interesting study that, okay, so AI tools actually make you slower, which is a very timely survey. So let's say we want to write a blog post on this interesting study. We can import it as a source, right? So this is what the source management. So you can go into our app and add a source and add the URL here, and then click import. So this would fetch the Reddit post. We can also fetch the Reddit comments. You can see here 1685, yeah, about the same, and then all the comments from people like this guy Cron66, which is correct. So this basically allow you to get the Reddit post and then save as a source, and then later you can write some articles based on this source, right? So this is the feature. I want to make some improvements to this feature. So basically now we want to add a source, you can only add one URL per time, right? So what if we want to add multiple URLs at the same time? Say I want to go to this one and then go to cursor. I want to add these two links together, right? Now I have to kind of enter it twice. But what if I can enter both at the same time, and I will just queue up and then import for me? So that's the feature I'm gonna build. So let's go ahead and do that. So go back to our ad hoc tasks. Because this is like a small task, I won't be adding it to our like a roadmap, which I use for this project. The roadmap is like for the bigger task. This is kind of a small enhancement, so I'll put it in the ad hoc task. So let's add a new enhancement task here. Let's say support importing multiple sources, multiple URLs as source at once. The batching logic. So we need to specify how the batching logic works, right? Because it can either happen on the back end or the front end. I don't know, because this is like a Next.js app, right? So the backend it's a bit sus. The Next.js backend is very weird. It's not like your normal backend where the server is running continuously. It's like more serverless functions. So the batching handling is quite poor. If your logic is running for more than 5 minutes, it will just get killed off. But I think for this specific case, we will be doing the batching on the front end instead. Since this is a Next.js serverless function, serverless backend with 5-minute timeout. Okay. Keep the original one URL import. That's a poor way of saying it. Make it backwards compatible with just importing one URL. Okay, there's a quick hack for the Claude Code, right? Because the Claude Code by default will try to search your code base for the relevant code, where to change. So if you actually tell Claude Code where the code is exactly, then you can save a bit of tool call and time, like finding the code. So you can see here when I write this requirement, it doesn't really say where the code is, right? Like which page to change. But I actually know which page I'm changing, right? So what I can do is basically say like, just give it some hints, right? So that it knows which page to change. To support importing multiple URL at once, let's say on the add new source page. Then it's actually a little bit easier for the model to find out where. Otherwise, sometimes it will spend a lot of time trying to find where the code is, where in fact you can just tell it in 1 second. Or if you want to be more specific, you can say this dash URL. So let's just go ahead and do that. We have our next enhancement shortcut here, which will just read this pending task and work on it. Yeah, this should work, right? So you can see it's gonna work on this, and then it's gonna have this tool. So because I say add new source page, it's just gonna try a bunch of patterns to find it. But unfortunately, because of some Next.js idiosyncrasies, it has to spend some time to find this. See. So will I get demonetized if I play Spotify music? Actually, I don't have monetization on, so it doesn't really matter. Let's play some let's play some English songs. I've been listening to Chinese songs for a while. Find some English. Okay.
I had a way then, losing it all on my own. I had a heart then, but the queen has been overthrown. And I'm not sleeping now. The dark is too hard.
Okay, this is actually more complicated. Oh, it's like when you go full speed with Claude, if you don't mind showing. Interesting question, right? I don't think the bottleneck is actually at coding for me right now. More like if I can automate my coding, then I can use the time I save with like looking at the code and writing the code and do something else, like watch a YouTube video or do some marketing and stuff. So I don't really see like a full speed kind of thing. I more think of coding like a asynchronous delegation. Like it's almost like you are a manager, right? You're just like telling your dev, okay, go and do this and figure it out, and then I'm gonna go back and do some other stuff. It feels more like that. I don't think of it as like a full speed versus fast speed or low speed kind of thing. I guess the most full speed thing I can do is to, while this is working, I just go to some other projects, right? Like maybe I just go to some other project and then find something else to do. Yeah, usually I can find something else to do, like updating some copy or like doing something else, like replying on Reddit. But I don't really like to do that. For example, now I have a request, I can look at it. Okay, so we were working on this just now, but looks like we're done here. Let's try to run the build. Okay, this is taking a bit long to build. Because each one of these links can be like a Reddit link which has options, so it's kind of a little bit tricky to do. But let's see what Claude Code come up with. Right? I'm actually quite curious on Claude Code handles the user experience.
It's like I got brand new eyes and I can finally see what it's always been right there in front of me. And with these brand new eyes, I'll take in every.
Okay, so Claude Code says it's done. Let's see if it actually works. Okay, so now there's a toggle on multiple URL or one URL. Let's see if it works if I just post multiple. Oh, it doesn't allow me to add like that. I guess this is okay, but I was thinking of I can copy paste the whole thing into it. Let's try to make it happen, right? Make it a text area so that I can like copy paste like a bunch of links into it, and then you can split it into individual URLs. Let's make that change. I hope for everyone who's still watching, you can see I actually didn't write any code, right? I guess that's the main gist of this stream. Is like you don't have to write code anymore, and then it's just like giving commands to the AI agent, and then it's liberating for me. I don't know about other people, but I find it personally quite liberating to not think about code, and like instead you can focus on how to solve the problem, or like what kind of instructions you can give to the AI agent so that it can do better, right? Like for example, you can see that it might make this like not backwards compatible, So you kind of nudge it towards this, and then like because I have experience with Claude Code generating UI that is quite weird, so I kind of nudge it towards being more consistent with it, right? So you kind of move into this kind of prompt engineering kind of skills instead of just writing the code. Yes, that's the main idea I'm trying to get across. So I just asked it to make a bulk import based on the text area. Obviously, this would require you to have some kind of coding knowledge to know that what's the difference between input and text area. So I would say, like, you still have to have some kind of knowledge to be able to use the AI effectively. It's not like, I mean, you can probably describe exactly what you want in like 5 sentences, but if you know the exact term, like text area, then you can just tell the AI to use text area. Similarly, for like things like throttle debounce or like what do you call it, async or whatever thing, if you know the exact word to tell the AI, then it's gonna save you some time describing it. Now let's see what. So now we have this separate by new line, comma, or semicolon. Okay, sounds good. Let's try. So we have this URL and this URL. Let's try it out. We're gonna paste these two URLs in. Okay, looks nice. Let's try. Oh no, failed. Why? Oh, too many clients. Oh my god, it's my Postgres. If someone knows how to fix this, I guess I should ask AI to fix it, but I'm too lazy now, so let's just do it again. I always have this problem with Postgres. It didn't happen on my old laptop, but for the new one, it's happening. It didn't allow me to select if I want to include comments, so that's a problem. Let me change that. For ready URLs, we should allow the user to select for each individual source if we want to include Reddit comments. Okay, so it's getting this Reddit wrong. We should allow user to select. Oh, I just realized, right? If I play the music later on the replay, this part, I just realized if I play the music later, this audio will be cut off later, right? When I replay this, that's gonna be quite bad. Let's see how it goes. Because I remember when I stream on Twitch, if you stream music, then the audio will be cut off in the replay. I'm not sure how YouTube handles it. I guess it's the same. Then people later will be very confused on what's happening. Let's see if it handles the per URL Reddit comment. You can see also I haven't reached the Claude Code limit. I'm on the $20 plan, but I haven't reached limit in like 2 hours or maybe like 1.5 hours. So that's a sign. I mean, realistically speaking, I should be watching YouTube videos right now, but since I'm a live stream, let's not do that. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I can reply to them. I think we still made some good progress. I was expecting to spend 30 minutes on the first task, but I think I underestimated how difficult it is because adding a new provider is not as straightforward as adding a new model, right? You have to connect the API and like kind of set up how to connect to it. And because the way I structure my products, it's very modularized. So it takes a little bit of longer time. So I have a library so I have one library for managing the model information, and I have a second library to just send the prompt to different providers. So I will spend a little bit more time, like 5 to 10 minutes more time when I want to add a provider. But I guess the benefit is that once I add a new provider, then I can easily like kind of change all my apps to use that new provider quickly. So that's a benefit. So let's say I have 3 apps and then I add XAI to this library, and then I can just update all my apps with a new version of the library, and it will just all work. I mean, at least theoretically. So I guess that's the benefit. Let's see this one. Okay, let's see if it actually works now. Try to refresh this. Multiple URL. Copy paste. Okay, now I have the option to include comment. Okay, let's include the comment for the first one and don't include for the second one. I don't like that it doesn't show me the full details. I think I have to fix that. I'll show the full detail of the Reddit post and comments after I press import. I think it's called import, right? Yeah, import all. Don't just show one line. Yeah, I think I want to see the full details much better. I don't want to. I want to check whether the thing I'm importing is correct. This one is actually already working. Yeah, so you can see it's already working. So we just need to update the multiple URL preview. Yeah, you can see it's like Claude Code is not like bulletproof, right? It still makes this kind of mistakes. Even though the previous implementation we're showing the full content, but it still default to kind of showing like a truncated content. I guess it's because of we're trying to import multiple, and it thinks that we need to save space. It might be like a personal preference. I personally prefer to have full content. So let's see if it works. All comments, no comment. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Let's do import all. Oh, it's still building. I shouldn't have pressed import. Ah, now it give me a button to show full content. Okay, sure. Yeah, so you can see this one, the first one will have all the comments, and the second one will have no comment. So it actually works. Let's save it. Let's see, this sub has become a complaint forum by Scripted Soul. And here, indeed, it's by Scripted Soul, and everything is correct. So this logic works correctly. So we're done with our task here. Import multiple URL sources. So yeah. So okay, I guess we've spent 1 hour and 30 minutes today. 1 hour 40 minutes, about 30-40 minutes. We completed 3 tasks plus some kind of explanation. So we added XAI support. Let's recap what we did today. So we updated our libraries for LM info and how do we send prompts, and then we updated the 16x Eval app to support XAI. So now, in addition to Anthropic, OpenAI, DeepSeek, Google, we have XAI here and Grok 4 here. So this is what we did for 16x Eval. And then we also added a feature to regenerate a post in 16x. So the first one took us about, I would say, 40 to 50 minutes, I guess, war time. I think I was doing like a lot of explanation to be faster, I guess. And the second one, I think this one was like 10 minutes. And then this one was like, I don't know, kind of lost track, about 50 minutes. Yes. And then we can also check our CC usage, see how well we did, how many tokens we have spent. You can see here, these are the tokens I used today. I didn't do anything else today, so these are all today's work. So if we have, so in terms of API cost, we would have spent $7, which is actually quite cheap. I'm on the $20 Pro plan, so I'm getting my value out of it pretty much. If you look at the monthly thing, yeah, so it. And I think we can also look at the block. I forgot the exact thing. I think it's blocks, yeah. Blocks. So yeah, we spend 1 hour 40 minutes and we spend $7 still active. I think there's also a live thing. The live thing. Yeah, there's a live flag here. So this is the session time and the usage. So you can see here we only burn this much and we still have a lot of quota left over. So we could have, do a lot of things in parallel and get a lot more done if we are really ambitious. So again, it proves that the Claude $20 plan is very good value. So yeah, I think I would call that a success for today. Didn't exactly go as well as I planned for, but still we managed to finish everything. This is my first stream, so everything is like impromptu and unscripted, so I think that's still pretty good, pretty decent. Yeah, I think for my next stream I will come out with more into linear. Yeah, definitely I can do that. but I'm a Markdown person. I do everything in Markdown. A bit old school in that regard. I think with linear you can connect to Cloud, and then I think the new Cloud, I think they just announced the Cloud Code GitHub Action support for the subscription, right? So I think they just announced the subscription. So technically you can just add Cloud inside the GitHub issue, and then just use it inside your subscription, which is like which is much fun, which is like much more efficient. I think if I go back to here, where is it? I can't find it. I think it's this guy, right? Yeah, so you can see here, GitHub Action integration is now available to Pro and Max subscribers. So technically you don't have to do anything I did now. You could just go to GitHub and then add Cloud and ask it to do stuff. I think I will try it for my next stream. So for next stream, I'll probably try this out and see if it works. And then probably compare against Cursor's background agent. I also have Devin. I used Devin for a very long time. I used Devin for a very long time when it just came out. You can see here, I pay for Devin 500 a month for January, February, March. So probably I can give it a try again, because how this works is exactly like Devin. So I could compare like Claude Code versus Devin. That would be a fun comparison, and give it the same task and see which one does better. My bet is on Claude Code, but let's see. And then yeah, so maybe next stream I will not spend too much time like adding new features on existing projects, maybe just one or two. And then I'll be like kind of vibe coding a new SaaS to just show you how to get started from scratch using Claude Code. It's more interesting, more fun, because the existing project, like people might not get like what this app is about or what this feature is about. It's very hard to understand what I'm trying to do. But with a new project, I think it's easier to follow along. I try out VS Code agent mode. I could, yes, VS Code. I think I already uninstalled VS Code. But I could. I mean, there's a lot of things to try. I think I have been monitoring Reddit for a very long time, and I think the general consensus is Claude Code is better, but there are some people who says GitHub VS Code, VS Code agent is better. I don't know. By the way, I still have the Copilot subscription, I think. I think so, right? I think I still have Copilot. Yeah, it's still active. I still have it. Wait, how do I check my subscription? Yeah, so I still have my Copilot subscription. It's gonna expire in August. Right, so I still have 1 month to try out. Yeah, that could be the next thing, right? So let's start like to try out like cursor background agent versus Claude Code GitHub Actions first. I don't know. I don't even know what it's called. Is it VS Code agent or Copilot agent or whatever agent? It's very confusing. For the naming from Microsoft is not exactly. So I'll compare this, and then maybe I'll compare them in, like I will probably scaffold this new SaaS app and then like compare them. I think that MNC only allow VS Code. Yeah, yeah, that's the reality. Yeah, so do let me know what you think about this stream. Like maybe leave a comment or I don't know, or you can message me. Yeah. So this is my LinkedIn, Twitter uh, channel. Yeah. Um, that's it for my first stream. Thank you everyone for coming in, and this is a very interesting experience. Made a lot of mistake. I guess I didn't plan it very well. I wanted this to be an impromptu stream, so I didn't really plan for it. I guess it went as well as it could be. I mean, barring some issues. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and I really appreciate you coming and watching me do random stuff. So I think for the next stream, I'll probably do it like sometime next week. Because I need some time to prepare. I think, like based on what I learned from the stream. So I'll probably still send out notifications on Discord, Telegram, X, LinkedIn, everywhere to let you know, and then we'll schedule it in advance so that you can catch it. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. For those in Singapore, good night, and for those in US, morning. For those in Europe, good afternoon, and I will see you guys next time.